The links of what I'm going to be the videos to be talking about are be in the description. Trying to do the YouTube thing, description, all that. But yeah, so and there are people that I respect and whatnot, but some of them I disagree with very adamantly. And I actually got kind of pissed off uh, at JWaller and even Andrew Tate and all them because they sit there and they're like puffing these big giant cigars and they're drinking their fucking alcohol and shit. And they're like, weed is bad. And Jay Waller was like, I did it one time when I was 30. It was the worst. It was like, oh, I wish I never did it. It's like, it didn't ruin your fucking life. Like, we just like, oh, like, but, so that really pisses me off though. That because, you're sitting there smoking a cigar. If I took a puff off that cigar, I would feel extremely nauseous. If I took a couple more puffs, I would be fucking vomiting out both ends. Like, tobacco and shit, nicotine, it's like it's a nerve agent. Like, you can give someone like a joint to smoke and they've never smoked anything before and they'll smoke that and they'll be like, oh, they might not feel so good. They'd be like, whoa. You give someone a fucking cigar to smoke, or I guess make it fair, a cigarette or something who's never smoked, they just smoke the whole fucking thing. They're gonna feel sick, I imagine. But it's not entirely 100%. That's probably what pisses me off about the people who make these judgments is they don't know anything about pharmacology. Like Andrew Tate doesn't know jack shit about fucking pharmacology. Nor neither does Jay Waller. They play in the system enough to like make fuck tons of money, and then they can do their own shit. They can have their own fucking personal gym, all that sort of shit. So they can look all healthy, which is fine. And then they sit there and smoke and drink, and they're like, "Oh, this is good. Like this is a. I want to say this is American, but like Andrew Tate's not American, whatever." Uh, but right after that video, I seen a video by Jordan Peterson where he's talking about why alcohol makes people stupid. And I don't know if I believe this statistic, but he said like half of all murders involve alcohol in some way. Like there's reasons why alcohol is legal and weed wasn't legal for the longest time. Weed's legal now because now they can got this whole culture of like, oh, I'm just gonna like smoke 10 blunts and play video games all day. And like that's the culture. But it doesn't have to be used like that. Like I use it and it calms down my rage issues. It's not the greatest. It doesn't really fix my issues, but it does help. People are like, "Oh no, you shouldn't medicate. That's bad. You just need more discipline. You just need a blah 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 blah." But I mean, there's like tangible effects. Like if I do exercise normal, okay, blah blah blah, I do exercise. But if I actually smoke a little bit of weed to do the exercise and stretch, I feel a lot like I'm more in tune with my body. And I forgot what it's called. There's like a physiokinetic sense or something like that's amplified if I smoke weed. Now, if I smoke weed all fucking day, no, I don't feel it. If I smoke too much weed, I start getting a headache. Um, but it's just like this. I'm gonna tell you what to do with your body, and I'm successful. But it's just the thing, and this is one with Jordan Peterson. One thing he said is people will be predisposed, whether genetically or through nurture or whatever, or through their parents, they'll be predisposed to certain substances. So alcohol might affect someone different than it does. Someone might be very affected by substance alcohol, while this other person might not be. Same thing with weed. Weed might make someone sick as soon as they fucking puff it, just because of how their body is, their genetics, all that shit. Like deviation is inherent in nature, so there is no one size fit all. I don't understand why human beings are so retarded from like fucking ancient times to think that there's a one size fits all and all humans should just, hey, make everyone clones of me. Uh, then it just cursed like, just I just see so much stupid shit. Like it's okay to start your day with 10 cups of coffee, but if someone's like, yeah, I like to, hit a puff of weed every now and then. Oh my god, it's horrible. It's never good. Like it's not. And there's even something in pharmacology where people have like I forget what it's called, but you have an opposite reaction. So that's like if you take a stimulant and it puts you to sleep, or you take something that puts you to sleep and you get energy. Like I think Vicodins are like an opioid, and I think that's one of the one I've heard the most variation on. Like oh yeah, like it's oh yeah, I just put one of those and I kind of knock out, takes my pain away, knock out. Other people are like, oh yeah, it gives me energy. Uh, so these people who like run construction businesses like JWaller or whatever don't know this shit, nor do they care to actually look up and look into it. I'm interested in this sort of shit because I need to fix my mental health and all that. And these substances help me, and I want to know how they help me and why they help me. And I think that uh, pharmacology and knowing medicine and chemistry is a far more useful endeavor than like knowing how to make millions of dollars, whatever. At least like in the scheme of like what's useful to humanity. Uh, Making millions of dollars and like building these big giant buildings, blah blah blah, and all that sort of thing. Like it seems like it's just increasing the industrialization, the further industrialization. It would be better like if people just knew how to make substances or knew how to grow the substances themselves. Like people, I guess, grew their own tobacco or made their own alcohol. It might be better. Or learn how to like synthesize fucking medicines so that they can like, hey, yeah, I just got these herbs together. I put them, in, blah blah blah, and I got this chemical reagent over here, and I'm gonna mix it all together. Now I got some medicine for like the local inhabitants. Like that's gonna make more. That's gonna be better for the earth and the world and all, like in all parties than people who are like mass consumers and just hey, let's just get drunk every weekend. I mean, I'm kind of off on a tangent. I didn't plan this video at all. I was actually a lot more pissed off about it a little bit ago. Then I watched some other videos and it was like, so that's basically the gist of it. Is that these legal drugs that the influencers are promoting are a lot worse than the illegal ones. I guess there is something to be added to that. The illegal drugs are partially illegal because they do have like massively mind altering effects, which could be used for good or evil. And from like MK Ultra, they want to use they want people fresh, like no drug, blah blah blah. One, so they can't break out of the fucking matrix of their own mind. They can't see anything because alcohol just makes you dumber, but not all the time. Actually, sometimes like you can function better on alcohol. But as the main, like that's why weed has such a bad name, is because the overall majority of people get dumber, and it's how they use it. Like if you drink some alcohol, and then like the story I heard was someone was having a hard time standing up for themselves, and then they had a little drink of alcohol, and all of a sudden they were able to find they were able to cognate the words to say in order to stick up for themselves. It can help you flow in that way, but the majority of drinking is praying to the porcelain. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I did a beer stand. How about I do a meth stand? Like, there's no difference. There's no difference between the harmfulness of like crack cocaine and fucking beer, alcohol. Like one of Jordan Peterson's stories, how he starts it off is they tested on these monkeys. They're like, hey, what happens if we give these monkeys alcohol? And like a couple of them just drank themselves into comas. Oh, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. I had I had other ideas of like what I was going to title, like 6 different ideas. I don't know. Maybe I'll just title this like "Why JWaller is Wrong About Weed" or some shit like that. Because I mean, that was his latest video or some shit. His thoughts on weed. Oh, I smoked it one time. It was horrible. But Elias Halstead does this too, which he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I had some period where I was just smoking weed. I wasn't like, no, it didn't ruin your fucking life. It didn't ruin your fucking health. You're still fucking fine. Like, oh, it killed my ambition and all that sort of shit. And a lot of this ambition that we all have, at least like in the certain communities, it's because we're under attack. So the ambition is like, oh, break out of the matrix. Oh, clap back against this. Call this out. It's not actually ambition any of us should be burdened with. If like your fucking life's goal is, or your day to day life is just, do your own productive shit, worry about your own life, worry about your own health, uh, have some recreation time. No, weed's just not gonna fucking destroy that. It's only if you like combine it with a whole bunch of other shit and then you just do it excessively, just like anything. It's like if you fucking if you eat excessively, you're gonna get obese. It, anything in excess is bad, but we're in this mind state that we should condemn half the things. If you have even a little bit, it's bad, condemned, you're the devil. And oh, these things over here like alcohol, I could drink a whole keg. Wait, I can drink 10 coffees in a day and it helps me work constantly, nonstop, because I don't have a life of my own. No one else should. Actually, Andrew Tate has a life of his own. So he doesn't understand. He's just, well, he doesn't understand it. I can't say he doesn't understand because I've seen enough of his personal stories. There's the character and then there's a character and then there's the actual man. And I kind of seen a bit of both. Like, he does get it, like, but the persona, and I've seen JWaller do the thing is, oh, you shouldn't cook or clean. You should just get a paper plate and a rotisserie chicken. It'll save more time for work. That's not what life should revolve around. Life should not revolve around the fucking industrial revolution that we all need to be jacked up with coffee or Adderall. And it's not a world that we were meant to live in. Like, it is not at all anything. Like, this is more so the world we're meant to live in. See, not like big giant fucking skyscrapers and shit. Or you know, but I get on a lot of tangents. I don't have any weed today. I had a little tiny bit of weed yesterday. It kind of actually really helped me because I was having some trouble organizing my thoughts, and I didn't really smoke or anything like that, so I didn't have like the tolerance built up. I said a little tiny bit of weed, and then boom, 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 and like the high part went away real quick. So it was just a little bit, but there was a certain like flow that is much better than what I experience now. Not much better, but a little bit better. And I was actually able to communicate with some people on a deeper level and not kind of go off on a deep end or tangent or anything like that. I think if I had a little bit of weed now, I'd be more articulate and focused. Uh, but yeah, I can go without it. But I mean, it's still though, like people who are alcoholics or who like smoke cigars all the time have no fucking room to sit there and tell anybody else that their fucking habits are bad and theirs are good, because no, they're fucking all bad habits. I mean, I guess unless it improves your health, which actually I can say, yeah, the fucking weed does improve my health. I mean, uh, his brother, Tristan Tate, I remember one time was like, well, cigars give you testosterone. Like, I don't need any more of that. I've got plenty for my fucking stressful living situation. But yeah, it's cigar, like, it's kind of a useless drug. Like, I guess it's a minor stimulant. Tobacco is. It's probably on the level of coffee, like having a coffee, have a cigarette. I did see someone say like, and it's kind of how I feel about weed, but they're like, hey, you about to, get done with a good workout, have a cigarette, need to brainstorm something, like have a cigarette. But like his idea was more so save it for it, use it as something to help you, not just like, oh man, I go through 5 packs a day. No, it's like it's several $100s a week people will spend on cigarettes. So there's like the hypocrisy is absolutely absurd. I don't know. I probably will name. I think I'm gonna name this JWaller or something. Pot. Why he's wrong. And kind of apologize for the length of the video. It takes a while for me to like go through all the different this and that. I don't have quite the life circumstances to just be like with my cigar and my fucking shot of fucking whiskey. Oh, I did weed one time. It's bad. Nobody should ever do it. It should be illegal. He didn't say it should be illegal, but like the idea, it quickly leads to that because everyone believes the law is just. The law is anything but just. So I don't respect the law. Like, you can tell me what to put in my body. I ain't taking no vaccine. I ain't, no. No, I ain't, no. I put what I want in my body, and I guess that's about it. Like, I'll put the couple videos in the description, so that's like the better context. Like, really, Jordan Peterson's video is what I want people to see, because he like is much better speaker than I am, and he really calls out like why alcohol is so terrible. Even worse. He doesn't say it's even worse than weed, but I've never known anyone to smoke themselves into a coma. Someone can drink themselves into a coma, but they can't smoke themselves into a coma. Not with weed, anyways.